Hey, I'm Michael Williams, and this is an overview of the Design Manager in ThinkCrew. There's a lot to learn here, but we're going to be able to cover everything in just 3 sections: navigation, concepts, and sharing. Let's jump in and get started with our first topic, navigation. You can open the Design Manager by either clicking on the green menu button and selecting the Design Manager, or by pressing Command-Shift-L on your keyboard. For Windows users, that'll be Control-Shift-L, of course. Once in the Manager, you'll notice that there are 3 tabs along the top: Designs, Layouts, and Palettes. When you click on each one of these tabs, you'll see an interface that you're probably familiar with in ThinkCrew, which is a list of items on the left and the details of the selected item on the right. Also, you'll notice a lot of the items in these lists say Public. Those are the standard designs, layouts, and palettes that come with ThinkCrew. You can use them as much as you like, but you can't edit these directly. If you'd like to make changes to one of them, simply select one and click on the Duplicate button. That new duplicate belongs to you, and you can make as many changes to it as you'd like. To use the different designs in your stripboard, just click on the Design drop-down in the stripboard's main menu bar. All of your designs will be there. But what do we mean when we refer to designs, layouts, and palettes? To answer that, let's talk about some concepts. To understand what designs, layouts, and palettes are and how they relate to each other, let's take a step back and take a look at the idea of a stripboard. Here's a stripboard. It's made up of a bunch of colored strips that each contain data about a particular scene or group of scenes. But let's break these strips down into their component parts. First, there's the colors, which represent different conditions for shooting that scene: interior, exterior, day, night. Let's pull those colors out and set them to the side. And let's also eliminate all the duplicate colors, so we're just looking at the basic colors for each combination. So now we have a bunch of plain strips. But really, there are only 3 different kinds of strip layouts on this stripboard: regular strips that represent a breakdown, banners, and daybreaks. Let's take away all those duplicates so we just have these 3 types. All of these 3 different kinds of strips are layouts. And the collection of colors is called a palette. Group 3 layouts in a palette together, and you get what we call a design. And this is only one individual design. If you want to create another design and say, swap out this banner for a different kind of banner, you don't need to recreate the strip and the daybreak. Just create a new banner and put that into this design. So how does this concept relate to our Design Manager? Well, let's take a look. The Designs tab asks us to identify a strip, banner, and daybreak, as well as a palette. With those layouts and a palette identified, this design is ready to use. And if we want to use some different layouts, we can simply swap out that layout for another. Or, if we want to keep this design, we can create a different design and just change the contents of that one. This system allows you to create layouts you'll need for various scheduling scenarios without having to recreate commonly used layouts like banners and daybreaks every time you create a new strip. Creating new layouts and palettes are covered in separate videos, and I highly recommend you watch those. Now, with this new knowledge, we can jump into our next topic, sharing. All of your designs, layouts, and palettes can be shared. The public ones are already shared with everyone, so you can't share those. There are actually 2 ways you can share something with another user: sharing a copy and giving them permissions. To share a copy of a design, layout, or palette, simply select the item you want to share and click on the Share a Copy button. Enter the email address of the person you'd like to share with, and they'll be able to see that item a few seconds later. They'll already need to have an account on ThinkCrew in order for this to work, of course. Sharing a design will also share that design's underlying layouts and palettes too. The copy of the item they've received is theirs to use, and it's now separate from your copy. So they won't be able to see any future changes you make, and you won't be able to see theirs either. But if seeing someone else's changes is something you'd like to do, there's another way to share, and that's giving a user permission to your design, layout, or palette. Giving someone else permission to use your item means you'll always be using the same item. It can be a handy way to ensure that the entire team is using the same design, layout, or palette. And you can set individual permission levels for each user on each individual item. Initially, they'll just have the ability to view what you shared with them, but by clicking the button to the right, you can optionally let them edit your shared item as well. With that clicked, the other person will be able to make changes, and you'll be able to see what they're changing in real time. You can give permissions to as many people as you'd like. To revoke a permission, click Edit and then delete the permission you want to rescind. And that covers our overview of the Design Manager. Please let us know if you have any questions on YouTube or Facebook, and thanks very much for watching.